Exploring SecurTrac, Mail Policy Monitor Overview. In the Mail Policy Monitor view of the SecurTrac configuration database, at a glance, quickly understand which Mail Policy Monitor documents have been created, identify which ones are active, along with which email types have been selected for monitoring. For example, monitor incoming email, monitor outgoing email, and monitor internal email. If monitoring email based on regular expression patterns, dictionary words, file attachment types, or name lists, it is possible to maintain configurations related to those components from their associated views. Using the Move Up or Move Down action buttons provides the ability to specify in which order multiple Mail Policy Monitor documents should be processed. The main difference between the SecurTrac Mail Monitor and the Mail Policy Monitor is that with the Mail Policy Monitor, it is possible to prevent certain emails from being delivered, whereas the Mail Monitor can only log the email but cannot prevent it from being delivered to the recipients. Step 1. When configuring the Mail Policy Monitor, specify whether or not that particular Mail Policy Monitor document applies to all servers in the domain, or specify the servers where the monitor should be enabled. Important note: SecurTrac must be installed and running on all specified servers. SecurTrac cannot monitor activity on a server where SecurTrac is not running. Step 2. Though optional, it is recommended that a description for the monitor be specified. Specifying a description will make identifying a monitor document at a view level easier, and when viewing SecurTrac logs, it will be easy to determine which monitors triggered the logged event. In Step 3A, by default, SecurTrac Mail Policy logs are stored in a centralized log database called sctpolicylog.nsf. If for a particular Mail Policy Monitor, logged events should be isolated into a separate log database, SecurTrac can accommodate that requirement. In Step 3B, by default and regardless of monitor type, SecurTrac will log all events into a log database on the same server where the event occurred. If there is a preference to store all logged events onto a centralized specified server, SecurTrac can also accommodate that requirement. Next, in Step 4A, by default when emails are quarantined by the SecurTrac Mail Policy Monitor, logs are stored into a centralized quarantine database. If for a particular Mail Policy Monitor, quarantined emails should be isolated into a separate log database, SecurTrac can accommodate that requirement. Moving to Step 4B, by default, SecurTrac will log all quarantined email into a log database on the same server where the event occurred. If there is a preference to store all quarantined emails onto a centralized specified server, SecurTrac can also accommodate that requirement. If a Mail Policy Monitor has been active and it's later decided that the monitor has to be temporarily disabled without affecting other active monitors, select Disable this policy. On the Policy tab, Step 1. Identify the type of emails that will be monitored by the mail policy. Examples are incoming email, which is from external domains, outgoing email, which is to external domains, and internal email, to and from domains as defined in the global domain document of the Domino directory and by the Domino server hostname. In Step 2, specify a criteria to match. Leverage the intuitive formula wizard to generate a formula that will be used to identify on what basis emails will be monitored by the mail policy. Alternatively, if you're comfortable writing formula language, create your own formula language statements using the formula editor. In this example, we're monitoring email based on a regular expression pattern to look for emails that contain credit card information. Next, in Step 3, now that a criteria to match has been specified, the next step is to identify what type of action should be taken against the specified types of email. For example, audit only, audit and delete the email, audit and quarantine the email, audit and copy the email to the quarantine database, audit and delete the attachments which meet the criteria, audit and delete all attachments, audit and replace attachments with download links, and lastly, audit and remove email addresses which meet the criteria. You also have the option of selecting Stop Processing Other Policies when this policy is triggered. In Step 4, enable the real-time notification feature, which can be customized and previewed, in order to alert someone immediately when the Mail Policy Monitor has been triggered. The person notified can then review the policy log database for more specific details. Next, in Step 5, which is optional, it is possible to send an email notification to the sender of an email which violated the mail policy. The content of that email notification can also be customized and previewed. Now let's take a look at a sample mail policy log. In this mail policy log sample, details about an email that was quarantined can be seen, including action details, mail details, and the actual email content that was quarantined. In the action details section, the following important information has been captured. 1. Action time, the date and time of the mail policy violation. 2. Triggered by policy, the name of the policy that triggered the violation. 3. Action, the action that was taken against the email. 4. Message ID, a link to the email message that was quarantined. In the mail details section, the following important information has been captured. 1. Sender, the person that sent the email. 2. Email address specified as recipients. 3. Subject of the email. 4. File attachment name, if any. And 5. Whether or not the email was encrypted or signed. Above is the actual email message that was quarantined. The credit card regular expression that was used by the mail policy uses an algorithm to detect credit card number patterns, and if there's a match, as in this case, the email was quarantined. The person responsible for managing the mail policy log database has the ability, if needed, to allow the quarantined email to be delivered, simply by clicking on the Release Email Action button. Alternatively, they may also choose to compose an email to the sender explaining that the email violated a mail policy. There's also an option to send an email to an alternate user with details about the mail policy violation. For example, sending a copy of the email to the sender's manager to let them know of the mail policy violation details. We hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. To learn more about our products, please visit our website for product information and additional tutorials. Visit us at www.extracomm.com.